Hey everyone, welcome back to SRC Names, and today I'd like to go through all the M names on my list. And this is part 8 in my 20-part series where I will go through all 2,000 plus names on my list in reverse alphabetical order. But before I get into that, I'd like to start out with all the new names that I've added since the last video. Starting with the 4 boys' names. I thought it'd be fun to pair these two together, Eris and Ferris. They both remind me of Harris, and I love how they sound and, of course, their look. And then Fenton and Flint I paired together because they are 2 town names in my home state. And, in fact, I think they're relatively close to each other. And I have always loved the town names, but I had never heard them on a person. So I added them as names on my list. And then for the girls, Tahira. And then a name that I saw in Nameberry that I just adore the pronunciation of, Anayera. Anayera. There we go. I'm still getting used to it. And then we have Persephone, which I keep forgetting to add despite the number of times that I've seen it on Nameberry. And then Velveeta, Faline, Fidelia, and Morgana. I was going over all the M names on my list before I made this video, and I noticed that Morgana's not on there, so I decided to add it. So here are the boys' names that start with M on my list. First up, we have Maddox, and then Malachi, Malcolm, which is probably my favorite of the boys' names on my list that start with M. Then we have Malik, Marcus, Merrick, Mariko, Marin, Marius, Markel, Mason, which is the other favorite of mine. And then we have Matthias or Matthias, or Matthias, which I would guess that the latter spelling could also be Matthias. If you have another pronunciation of this name, feel free to say it in the comments. And then we have Maverick, which is one that I've added recently, as is the case with Maxton. And then we have the timeless name that I absolutely adore, Maxwell, Mako, then Medrick, Menet, Merrick, an incredibly different spelling of it. And this one is pretty different spelling as well than I have seen, and I ended up really, really liking it, Merrill. Then we have Micah or Mika, both with and without an H. I tend to see it with an H more, and I also hear it as Micah more. I prefer Micah, and I also prefer it without an H, but I have seen more and more Micah with an H, and so that name has definitely grown on me as well. And then we have Mikel, Milo or Milo, Morley, and Myatt. And for the girls, a lot of girls' names that start with M I absolutely love, especially the Mary variants. I love those. So we have, first of all, Mabel, which is an elder generation girl's name that I really like. And then Macy, 3 different spellings. I tend to prefer Macy. And then Mackenzie, Madeline, Maddie, which I would guess that most Madelines are called Maddie as a nickname. And then this one I say is Madeline. The next one I say is either or, Madeline or Madeline. Probably at first instinct I say Madeline. Then I say Madeline for this next one. This is probably my preferred spelling of Madeline. And then the Line spelling is probably my preferred Madeline spelling. Then we have Madison, and Madison with a Y. Then we have May, which I really like, especially as a middle name. I would feel that it's probably a pretty common middle name from what I've seen at least. Then we have Mayel, Malin, Maeve, which I've seen a lot on Nameberry and I really like. Magdalena, another really pretty name. Mahalia, Mahina, Maisie, Michaela, another spelling. And then we have McKenna, both with one and two. And then we have Malika. And then Malaya. A lot of people don't tend to prefer the EIGH spellings on names, but I am one of those who do. I really like them, even as outlandish as this one is. And then we have Malia, Malba, Malika, Manuela, which is another one that I've seen quite a bit recently. And then Mara or Mara, Marilee, Marcel or Michael. This one I think is Mary. I don't think it's Mare. And then we have Marin, then Mariam, Marianne, Mariana or Mariana, both with one N and two. I would probably, I'm probably 50-50 on the spelling. If I had to choose one, it would probably be with two N's. And then we have Marianne, and then Maribel, Maricruz, Mariel, Mariella, Marietta, Marigold. Kind of makes me wonder if there's a Marielle and a Mariette. I would imagine so. If you have come across those names before, feel free to leave that in the comments as well. And then we have Marilee, Marilyn, Marilyn with an N-E. I tend to like Marilyn on a girl more than on a boy, but that's just me. And then we have Marin with an I, Marina, both with and without a silent E. I have seen a Marina with that spelling before. Then we have Marion again. I tend to prefer Marion on a girl, but I have also seen it as a boy's spelling too. Then we have Mariposa, another name that I really like the sound of. And then Maris, Marisol, Marizelle, Marla, Marin, Martha, the ever so timeless Mary, Mary Ellen, which is the most recent Mary name that I have added, and then Mary Therese, Masanaga, Matilda, which I really, really like. I love the nickname Tilly for this name. And then we have Madalena, Mavis, Maybelle, Mayella, Maylin, Mayna, Maisie, McKaylee, and Mackenzie. I'm not too big on Mick names, especially as firsts, but with the exception of these two, because I really, really like them, especially how they sound. And especially Mackenzie, which I see a lot. But McKaylee I really like as well. And then we have Melinda, Melisande. I met a Melisande over Zoom a few months ago, and I really like how her name is pronounced, and really like the name in general. And then we have a Melissa. We have Melissa. Then we have Melody with an I and with a Y. And then we have Melvina, Meredith, Merida, Merlene. Okay, I'm just making sure that I alphabetized it correctly on my list, which I did. And then we have Mary with a relatively uncommon spelling. Merriweather, Meryl, Mia, another Michaela spelling, which isn't my favorite, but it has grown on me. And then Mickey with an I, Michaela. This is the first Michaela spelling I've ever seen. And then we have what I think is probably the most common Michaela spelling, at least that I've seen. And then Mirabella, Miriam, Morgan, Morgana, which is the most recent M name that I've added to my list. And then Musetta, Mikola, Mila or Mila, Miriam again, and Myrna. I hope you enjoyed this list. Thank you for watching. Look for the L names next. I'm especially fond of K names and L names, particularly their sound. So I'm really eager to show you guys these lists. So look for those in the next couple videos. Thanks for watching.